What is real important to learn about fishing different water temperatures? Different water temperatures. You know, the temperature right now is getting warmer. We're having warmer nights. It's not dropping quite as down at night. It's getting a little cooler at night, getting warmer in the day. And we're having longer days now too. So the water's getting warmer. What's really important that you need to know about different water temperatures? Good morning, guys and girls. Good morning. March 20. March 20, we're looking at the Old Testament, Nehemiah 2:20. I don't know how many of y'all have read very much about Nehemiah, but it's pretty interesting. He was quite an individual. Nehemiah. And Nehemiah said in Nehemiah 2:20, the God of heaven himself will prosper us. That's a short verse. That's a good one. I love that. The God of heaven himself will prosper us. Now, here's what I wrote about that. To prosper in tournament fishing is to catch a good limit, cash a check. Yeah, a lot of people think to prosper is to win that $100,000. To prosper is to cash a check. To prosper at a career in fishing simply means making enough money to pay the bills. If you're making enough money to pay the bills where you can fish another year, that's prospering in tournament fishing. To prosper in fishing is much more than money. It's memories. It's relationships that last long after the dollars are spent. Long after you spend those tournament winnings. It's teaching kids how to fish. It's teaching your wife or your husband how to fish. It's super times with lifelong friends. Fishing is something that you build memories with that last till the day that you leave this earth. God wants to prosper you in everything you do. Do you hear what I said? God wants to prosper you in everything that you do. He wants to prosper you in your family. He wants to prosper you in your church. He wants to prosper you in your job, whatever your career is, whatever you're doing for a living. He wants to prosper your health. He wants good health for you. Much of the Old Testament, when God was kind of trying to teach the children of Israel how he wanted them to live, was about foods and things that they ate and the way they took care of themselves so they would be healthy. And yes, God does want to even prosper you financially. He wants you to be financially well off. He wants to prosper you enough many times so you can use your money and resources to help other people. Nehemiah was rebuilding a wall at Jerusalem. He was doing God's work when he confidently said, God himself will prosper us. He was building a wall where they'd been torn down with the war, and he was trying to build that wall back up, and the children of Israel going to return to Jerusalem. And he confidently said, God himself will prosper us. Let's go about doing God's work today, expecting God to prosper us. Expect him to prosper us, as he did for Nehemiah. And you know what will happen? God will. God will. When we confidently expect God to do something great in our life, he usually does. He usually does. You've heard me say many, many times, I can't wait to see what God is going to do next in my life. God is always doing something great, and I'm looking out for that. I'm watching out for all that time. When we expect God to do something great, he generally does. Oh, I love it. Here's our tip for today. Become comfortable with and learn which lures, what baits, work best under different water temperatures. You'll use different baits during different water temperatures. So pay attention when you're fishing water that's, say, 58 or 60 degrees, or water that's 40 degrees, or water that's 80 degrees, or 100 degrees. Pay attention to what works, and remember that. That's an important thing. So when you encounter that same water temperature again, you'll be able to catch fish. One of the things in becoming a good fisherman, without a doubt, is developing a pattern. In other words, why did I catch this fish? And what's the water temperature? What's the weather like? What's the time of the year? What's the type of lake? And then you duplicate that again. That's just all a pattern is. Then you duplicate that again. When you run into that same situation, you duplicate what you did. The lure you're fishing with, the speed of retrieve, the places you're fishing, and you're on your way to becoming a really, really good fisherman. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.